at United are not intending to do business in January. There is always a but, because there is a long way between now and January and things can change. And that's obviously with the backdrop that they will be losing players to AFCON in December as well. We know that they are interested in a number 6, a holding midfielder, someone who can be that pivot in front of the back four. That was a target for Ruben Amorim over the course of the summer. They weren't able to action that particular position that they'd have liked to have done, but they do have an interest in Carlos Baleba, Adam Wharton and Elliot Anderson. So that is a role that they are looking to fill. But will it happen in January? We're being told that's not going to be the case.
Alan, are you surprised by that?
I wouldn't say I'm surprised by that, because I think Manchester United have started well. But when you look at them as a team, what would you say the weakness is? Well, it's definitely energy in central midfield area. And a younger midfield player, a pivot type player in that, what they've got at the top of the pitch at the moment, certainly would help their cause. I don't think they actually got financial room to do anything. You know, it was a pretty tight in the summer with the business that they did. So there's a lot of factors involved there. If I was Amorim, I genuinely think that I would stick at the moment. I think his team's done okay. I don't think they're under massive pressure to find Champions League position this year. He needs just a strong season to kind of stabilise that club, and then look to Europe next year, and maybe the summer window would make more opportunity for them. You mentioned PSR there, actually. Their turnover in the recent set of accounts to June 2025 was £666 million, and we know that turnover allows you to go and spend money. They were reasonably tight with regards to what they could do with PSR, but because they had quite an effective selling window with regards to Scott McTominay, Mason Greenwood, Alejandro Garnacho, and they got 3 players out on loan in Jadon Sancho, Rasmus Højlund and Marcus Rashford, which saves them around £700,000 a week. The 3 players they sold, being all from the academy, represent really good PSR profit. Yep. So actually they've got a little bit more headroom than perhaps people initially thought, because they were so good with the business they did with players getting out. So again, Manchester United fans will turn and say, well, actually, those problems that we had in the summer where we're a bit concerned about what we could spend and PSR rules, you've sorted that out kind of. So that means you have got some money to spend in January. And if we can sniff the Champions League, why wouldn't you go and back Ruben Amorim, particularly on this good run that they're on at the moment?
Well, one thing I'd say as well, the narrative has been these 3 players who are going to the Africa Cup of Nations, in Bryan Mbeumo, Amad Diallo, have been very key to them so far this season, and Noussair Mazraoui as well. But you've got to remember, these are not long-term injuries. These are not long-term absences. They're going to be out for 4 or 5 weeks. So Manchester United have got to think about this. Do they go into the market and bring in players to cover the players who are going to the Africa Cup of Nations? What happens when these players come back to the players that they brought in? Do they then go onto the bench and then these players are back into the team? It's one of those ones where they've got to take a little bit of a step back. And as we've been mentioning before, I think they will only go into the market if there's a long-term injury, number one. And also if there's this market opportunity that they simply cannot turn down. Because just to substitute and bring in players who have gone to the Africa Cup of Nations, it's such a short-term absence for these players. When they come back, what happens? Yeah, well, there's also another case here where the balance of the squad, for the first time at Man United, for the last 2 or 3 years that I can remember, there's not noises coming out of the training ground that there's bad attitude, bad situations going on, people falling out with each other. It seems to be like he's got a happier camp, right? So as a manager, if I was looking at that, I wouldn't want that to change at this particular time. I want to keep that very stable.